Welcome to Unveiling CloudPulse, where you'll learn about unlocking opportunities with OTAVA's new partner program. I am your host today, Rachel Martinez. Today's agenda will dive into who is OTAVA. You'll meet your dedicated channel team, introduce our long-awaited CloudPulse partner program, the launch of our partner portal. We'll walk you through product features to help empower you, our valuable partners, and highlight additional resources to keep you in the know. Today's presenters, Liz Barnhart, Channel Chief, Brian Holkeman, our Vice President of Product and Marketing, Rachel Martinez, myself, Senior Channel and Alliances Manager, Mike Caldwell, Director of Channel Engineering and Enablement. Toss it over to Liz Barnhart.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rachel. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'm really excited to share a bit about our journey with you, and I promise to keep it interesting. We're talking about numbers, and not just any numbers. These are milestones that define OTAVA and our parent company, Schurz Communications. So let's dive right in with a big number, 152. That's how many years Schurz Communications has been around. Imagine that. Over a century and a half of innovation, adapting through countless changes in the business world. It's our backbone and the solid ground upon which OTAVA was built. Now on to another number, 30. This is how long we've been deep diving into cloud solutions, long before cloud became a buzzword that it is today. 30 years of figuring out how to make data secure, compliant, and accessible. It's been quite the ride, and we're truly just getting started. Up next, 72. This one's all about the OTAVA channel sales team and their experience. We've got a combined number of years, 72 years to be exact, navigating the tech world, learning, growing, and of course, having a little fun along the way. It's our journey that's equipped us not to be just service providers, but true partners to our clients. And last but not least, 230. This is a showcase of our technical certifications. This number represents all the certifications that our team has collectively achieved. And really, it's our way of saying we're committed to knowing our stuff inside and out, so our clients get nothing but the best. So there you have it. A quick look at the numbers tells you a bit about who we are, where we come from, how we really approach our work. And it really has been, for me, a fascinating journey so far, and really excited about the road ahead. So our story really begins back in 1872. So picture this. Schurz Communications, the family, decides to start South Bend Tribune. It was more than just a newspaper. It was really the start of something big. They probably didn't even know how big it was at the time. And then you fast forward a bit into the world of radio, where they were able to bring voices and musics into people's homes for the first time. And they didn't stop there. Up next, television. Each step was leading into the unknown and a new way to connect, inform, and entertain. Now let's hit fast forward button again, all the way to 1994. The digital age is dawning, and guess what? The Schurz family, never someone to shy away from innovation, gets involved with online tech. It wasn't just a new venture, it was really the beginning of the future, of our future. So 2018 rolls around and we're still on the move. We welcome Neverfail into the fold. We're really expanding our toolkits and setting our sights on becoming a powerhouse in data protection and cloud solutions. And we didn't stop there. Then hits 2019, and it's a big one. This is where we embrace our new identity as OTAVA. And it's not just a name change. It's really a promise to deliver the most secure, innovative, and reliable cloud solutions out there. Then 2021, we brought in new cloud networks into the family, and we really beefed up our cloud game. So from newspapers to the cloud, our journey has been nothing short of incredible. It's a story of evolution, of not just keeping up with times, but really getting ahead of them. And you know what? We're really just getting started. It's been quite an adventure. And the best part is that these journeys continue and you, our partners, will be by our side. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mike and Brian.
Hello, everybody. I will talk a little bit here about the different solutions that we have in the market and how we've organized ourselves. So we really organize our solutions into three pillars. From a multi-cloud infrastructure, then we talk about business and data resiliency, and then intelligence and insight. We'll highlight a few of these areas later in the webinar. The From our standpoint, everything starts with data resiliency. So how are we hosting your data? Are we backing up your data? How are we providing disaster recovery for you? Everything wraps around this idea of where your data is, how to secure it, make sure it's that you know where it is and is protected by the best standards, compliances out there in the market. Anything to add, Brian?
I think it's where you start, right? Data protection, data resiliency. It's all about protecting your data in this world of cyber vulnerabilities that all companies are trying to protect against. And so it's usually the starting point where we talk to clients about where is their data today, how are they protecting it, how can OTAVA step in and assist in that strategy, and then from there we move into the multi-cloud ecosystem. So wherever you are on that journey, whether you have data assets on-prem, whether you are building out private clouds, whether you're adopting public cloud infrastructure, or some combination of the above, OTAVA has a broad set of capabilities that we bring to the table to help clients, achieve what their transformation strategy is, but also protect with their data assets where they are today.
So OTAVA is built on a culture of compliance. We were one of the first data center companies in the US to be HIPAA compliant, and everything we do is built on the certifications that you see. We treat all of our clients as needing all of the certifications, even if they don't require that. And every product we come to market with, every cloud we open, every data center we walk into is all built on this foundation. The interesting thing from a partnership perspective is all your clients that you partner with OTAVA to help bring services to can also enjoy these compliances as they pass down, and it's one of our great competitive advantages that aligning with us can provide a lot of these certifications and check a lot of boxes for your clients. Next, we have we pick the best in breed to go to market with. So. We are a Zerto Silver partner. We've been using Zerto for years and years now, and it's a great tool that we use in our DR playbooks. We partner with Veeam. We're the top 3 Veeam provider in the U.S., top 10 in the world. We have a huge bench depth and skill set around Veeam and backup services, specifically with some of the new features that Veeam's coming out with, AI power detection and response, etc. And then finally, we're a Broadcom Premier partner. We're excited to be part of that Advantage program and be able to help MSPs and other partners continue to do business in the marketplace with Broadcom. Any details you want to add, Brian?
Yeah, for me, when we're really talking about our partner ecosystem, it's about trust and access, right? So Liz was talking about the broad set of certifications that we have in our business, the engineering expertise that we have across these 3 pillars and others. So we also have certifications in public cloud and other aspects of networking, et cetera. But the consideration that you as part of our partner ecosystem should think about is access to the assets and the resources that we have at OTAVA. And so in a deal, when you're trying to promote a solution to a client, you have very unfettered access to the engineering resources and the expertise. Obviously, Mike's part of that solutions architecture team that comes in and helps design the solution. But behind Mike is a broad set of resources that can really dive in and help understand client opportunities, objections, and challenges that we can bring the appropriate resources into the opportunity and help you close the deal. We're also very active in the technology landscape. And so a great example of that is the transformation that's happening with the Broadcom acquisition of VMware. So OTAVA is at the forefront of that and is a premier advantage partner in the new Broadcom program that allows us to engage with enterprise clients who have VMware licensing today, and they're trying to navigate and understand where they want to take their private cloud resources that they will have to evolve over the next couple of years to the Broadcom subscription-based licensing moving forward. So that's just an example of our level of expertise, our ability to bring technical resources into the sales process, and to help build credibility with the end clients for our partner ecosystem.
So OTAVA is a good picture of our footprint here. So formerly Online Tech, we came out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and we're primarily focused in the Midwest. We've started in data centers in Michigan, and we moved and invested in the Indianapolis market with a data center downtown Indianapolis. And then by the time that we rebranded to OTAVA, we launched a plan to have cloud footprints across the country and around the world. So in the Midwest, we own and operate 5 data centers that we also have cloud regions in those areas as well. Everywhere else that you see a dot around the country, we are co-location clients of other, Switch and Equinix, et cetera. And we run all of our other services out of there. So, cloud, backup, DR, security, and all those places. We also have cloud in the UK and Germany. And then we have anywhere you see the light blue is, we do provide managed Azure around the world for our clients as well.
One thing to think about, Mike, on the data center footprint is proximity matters. And so we have a really diverse, broad set of data center assets that allow us to do a couple of things. One, if you're in a disaster recovery type of solution scenario, you want the actual data to reside far away from where your production assets are. So we have a really diversified, great set of assets in North America and the EU. And then in terms of public cloud adoption, latency matters. And so we've got great access to the hyperscalers with high performance, low latency access to the applications you're going to be adopting in those geographies. So really good set of diverse data center resources that are designed to support both that business data protection and business resiliency, as well as cloud and public cloud adoption.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, let's kind of pause the tech talk for a second and chat about some of the most crucial folks around here. And I'm talking about our channel sales team. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. Thanks, Rachel. So these are truly the real MVPs behind the scenes. They're not just folks who know our products inside and out. They're truly, they're your go-to for really everything at OTAVA. They're the ones who are going to cheer you on. They're going to help you navigate through challenges. And of course, we always like to have some fun along the way. So you've already met Rachel and you've met Mike. And now I'd like to introduce you to Phil Burton. Phil's located in Denver, and he is super passionate about helping our MSP partners navigate the ever-changing Broadcom VMware world. I'd also like to introduce you to Christy O'Neill. Christy's based in Dallas and is responsible for our trusted advisor ecosystem of partners in the West. She's our newest addition to the team, and we are super lucky to have her. She's amazing. This group is super passionate, right? They're dedicated folks who truly eat, sleep, breathe cloud solutions, but it's not just about the cloud for them. It's really making sure that you feel supported every step of the way. So if you need to strategize, they're there, they're all ears, they're ready to help. They're just an email or a call away and really are eager to make sure that the experience you have with OTAVA is as rewarding as possible. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. This is super exciting. We're doing our big reveal of our new partner program, CloudPulse. So really picture this. It's a meticulously crafted program around our partners' growth, their success, and the pulse on the cloud market in mind. So why Cloud Pulse? It's really because we're keeping our fingers on the pulse of the cloud world, ensuring you're not just keeping pace, but you guys are leading the way. So let's dive into what Cloud Pulse is, not just new, but revolutionary. Let's talk a little bit about that. Why are we all hyped up? Because this program was built with you in mind. This program gets you access to exclusive tools and resources and support that are designed to amplify your growth and really propel your business. So we're talking about tailor-made training sessions, marketing materials that make your brand shine, sales enablement resources that turn your conversations really into conversions of opportunities. And really, that's kind of the tip of the iceberg. Next slide, Rachel. But wait, there's more. With Cloud Pulse, you're not just joining a program, you're really becoming part of this elite community. And it's a community of innovation, it's a community of collaboration, mutual success is really what we strive for at the end of the day. So we're introducing partnership tiers that reward your achievements, opportunity registrations that are going to protect that hard work you're doing out there in the field, marketing development funds that are going to fuel your campaigns, plus, of course, direct access to our team. So you never feel like you're going it alone. So I'm really hoping you're excited about it, ready to feel the pulse of the cloud with us. And very soon, very shortly, follow up to this webinar, you will be receiving access to our Cloud Partner Portal, as well as all of the details around Cloud Pulse. Next slide.
Thank you for that, Liz. A great tee up to our OTAVA Partner Portal. So as Liz said, we're really excited to introduce our OTAVA Partner Portal. This is really a one-stop shop for you. So some of the features and highlights that I'll touch on is one, access to deal registration, a deal dashboard where you'll be able to access all your current deals, close won deals, really that one pane of glass. We'll be able to access a technical toolbox as well as access to our monthly webinar series that we'll touch on later in this webinar. And another great asset that will be available to you that we have heard from the partner community is co-branded assets and collateral. So starting next week, you'll receive a formal invite with details on how to sign up and access our partner portal.
Awesome. So let's jump into a little overview of a couple of the key areas in the product portfolio that we want to talk to you about today. So let's move to the next slide. The first is going to be our multi-cloud capabilities. And so we touched on this previously. So OTAVA can facilitate the transformation of the journey from on-prem to private cloud to public cloud, or any combination of the above. But really what this means for our clients is that they're able to use OTAVA as a target. And so starting with the data protection that we were discussing earlier, we are an easy way for clients to back up data, protect data, and provide some real-time generative AI analytics around the compromise of any data file or data asset that sits on our platform. It's also really non-disruptive. So I think one of the biggest things that is a challenge for clients today is if they want to become a cloud-first organization, they want to migrate to different versions of public cloud and private cloud. It can be very disruptive in terms of application reformatting and refactoring. OTAVA gives the ability to leave applications in place, to migrate them when they make sense, and to optimize them when they're trying to transform their application domain inside of their organization. We also assist with that process, right? So whether it's building the strategy, migration, planning, we're able to bring all those experts and assets to bear to help clients really understand where it makes sense and how it should be executed. And then finally, we're able to help with that digital transformation conversation, whether it's the application modernization, whether it's how do I adopt AI, generative AI, to drive productivity in my business or remain competitive, or just the underlying innovation that clients are trying to do in terms of their organization. And this is now become a very competitive differentiator for a lot of companies because they understand that data is an asset and their ability to respond in a real time and frictionless way gives them a leg up on the competition in the market. So we've got a really great portfolio around cloud, and it's a complex conversation. So we're able to bring the right people at the right time to help our partners win deals and close opportunities. The next category is around security. We can move to the next slide. Great. All right, so we've built a framework because security is a daunting conversation and a complex technical conversation that everyone's struggling with today because it's a boardroom discussion, right? Protecting the data, protecting yourself from cyber attacks. These are board level conversations and you need a plan. However, it can't be a boil the ocean plan because it's overwhelming for everyone and it's complex. So we've built a secure framework. And what that allows us to do is decompose the security conversation into bite-sized chunks so we can understand where the biggest vulnerabilities are for a particular business, and we can address those piece by piece, one by one. And so what we've done with the secure framework is we've built this kind of interesting nomenclature around shrinking your attack surface, examining vulnerabilities, containing those cyber attacks, responding to them and undoing them, recovering, and then evaluating, because this is a dynamic landscape. And I think the big point for everyone here is, no one can keep up. Like, irregardless of the size of the organization, these attack vectors are changing so fast and the vulnerabilities are so dynamic that you need to engage a managed provider like OTAVA to help you mitigate those vulnerabilities. And so this allows us to bring a conversation to the forefront where it's non-threatening and it's deterministic in terms of where are the real vulnerabilities that we have to address right now. The next
Yeah,
slide.
Brian, I'd also
Oh,
add too.
perfect. Thank you.
I'm really excited for this for our partner community. Uh, we, the security and business resiliency, data protection conversation can be daunting, especially if you haven't had many of those before. If you're, if this is a new arrow in your quiver that you can sell or provide value for, and so this helps break down into an easier conversation, right? I think a lot of people can talk through secure and understand, and we break all of the different categories that make up a really best practice compliant solution into bite-sized pieces, as Brian said, easier to understand and easy to walk through, but to navigate. What questions should we be asking our clients, right? It's you sit down and we across the table, and it's really easy to get into the weeds or to get into it, way lost in a conversation. But going through kind of almost like a checkbox of talking through the secure framework, you will be able to identify gaps that you can help with, and that you can partner with us to help, fill those gaps with your clients and prospects. So, very excited.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this framework and the words behind it. So shrink, examine, contain, undo, recover, and evaluate. Um, those are specific best practices that we're bringing to the table, so we can help clients really understand, where they are today and where they need to go in the future. And so I won't dive into all the specifics here, but it is about, at the end of the day, data, right? And so it's an easy conversation. While it's very dynamic and sophisticated and complex, it's an easy conversation to start with a company in our partner ecosystem. And so when you start with data, the first thing is around data protection, right? And how are you protecting your data? And historically, that's all been about backups. And there's a 1, 2, 3 backup strategy where you're protecting on-prem, you're protecting off-site, et cetera. But we're bringing a much more innovative approach to data protection, and we provide a lot of inline intelligence around the real-time backups that are happening, and we can react to anything that's happening, and we can detect any type of vulnerability or any type of cyber attack that's starting and contain it. And so that's a very easy conversation to start from a security best practice perspective with any company in our partner ecosystem. And Mike's really well positioned to kind of jump in there and talk about how backups have changed over time and how OTAVA is bringing new ingredients to that opportunity to solve big issues and big problems for our end clients.
Yeah, I would also echo. Brian talked about how there's a whole team of experts behind me at OTAVA, and one of the things we are proud to offer to our partner community is access to those individuals, if it's me or solution architecture or engineering, to be able to help not only educate our partners but help you guys win deals. At the end of the day, we want to help you identify. There's some, as we talk further and further series, we'll learn about some low hanging fruit that's out there that's easy to start with from a partnership with OTAVA. But we want to enable you through things like the secure framework and others to be able to elevate your game, because you will stand out far and above your competition walking in the door. If you sit down with a client and you talk about the secure framework, even at a high level, you're talking about a way to talk about data resiliency that your competitors aren't speaking to. And you will, even if you are not fully up to speed on all the nitty gritty of what all these mean, you will deliver a confidence to your client that you know what you're talking about. Rachel, I think you're muted.
Rachel, you're on mute.
Thank you guys. It wouldn't be a true webinar if someone wasn't on mute. So our Cloud Pulse webinar series, we are very excited. This Cloud Pulse webinar series is really here to enable you to have compelling conversations with your clients. A few of the topics include a compliance landscape, multi-cloud strategy, really here to empower you to be successful. So a great way to register is via our partner portal. So stay tuned next week when you receive our welcome email. The OTAVA Broadcom Hub is a great resource and wealth of information, especially real-time content. You'll have access to a full library of all things Broadcom. So please make sure that you sign up. We'll send out the registration links for these as well. And lastly, another valuable way to stay in the know is to subscribe to our podcasts. You can subscribe via Apple products if you have that, Google Podcasts and Spotify. This is another valuable and transparent way to get to know OTAVA, know about those compelling conversations, and hear from us. So now we'll open it up to questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. All right, so looks like we got one. Could you provide examples of how OTAVA supports its partners in their channel marketing efforts, especially in terms of co-branding and lead generation? Liz, you want to answer that question?
Yeah, I can certainly answer that. I'm sure Brian can chime in too, having the marketing piece. But we want to we want to be the easy button, right? We want to develop things that are relevant to either your current install base or to prospective clients that you're trying to get in front of. We're happy to craft custom material for you, custom emails, and we'll collaborate. We'll brainstorm, and we can do some of this stuff together. If there's something that you need, feel free to reach out. We'd love to work with you and come up with something that will, like I said earlier, truly make your brand shine as well.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to really dig in and give a demo of the CloudPulse portal and all the assets you have available to you. So on that asset, we provide a wealth of resources in terms of co-branded marketing collateral that you can download that you can use in the sales process. So it's branded as your own partner brand powered by OTAVA. And then from a more of a guerrilla marketing kind of boots on the ground perspective, we support and fund a lot of events that our partners are executing in market. And then we do things like this. So we're collaborating with a number of our partners right now to do webinars around specific topics and areas, solution areas that they're interested in. And so we bring in the appropriate experts to those webinars, and we help promote those webinars through email and social media as well. So we have, from digital marketing, social media, collateral assets that you have access to on the portal, and then go to market, events and webinars. We provide the full breadth of capabilities and support for our partners.
Awesome. Another question, and maybe Brian, this is one for you. With the recent developments between Broadcom and VMware, can you share how OTAVA is navigating these changes and what it means for partners leveraging these technologies?
Yes, it has been a big focus for OTAVA over the last couple of months, and so it's an interesting technology landscape to navigate. But first of all, I'll say that there were 4,500 service provider partners in the VMware ecosystem as of about a month ago, and now there's 500. So they've dramatically reduced the number of organizations that can actually sell licenses and help. And so OTAVA is part of the Advantage Broadcom program. So we're really excited to participate in that. But in terms of where we bring a ton of value, and we've heard this from end clients and end user clients as well as partners, we just have really good access and really good organizational understanding of how the program is going to be unveiled in a season where there's a lot of unknowns. And so whether it's license pricing, how do I consume licenses? What are the rules around the program? How can I partner with an organization who's going to provide day two support and escalations into the Broadcom technical resources? OTAVA is in a great position to do that. And that Broadcom hub that we mentioned earlier, you're going to see about north of a dozen videos where we talk about specific topics spanning from engineering best practices and architectural designs to how, what are the rules around the licensing and the pricing and the flow down terms that Broadcom is providing from their partners to the enterprise client. So we feel like we're in a really good spot. We've got a lot of really smart people who've been spending an inordinate amount of time, working with the Broadcom teams to make this as seamless for the end user client as possible.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. And another question we have in the chat, and this is for Mike and Brian again. Your secure product, how much is the engagement review, and how far will your remediation operations go into the client engagement?
Yeah, I'll take this one. And Howard, I think you posted a few questions, so I'll speak to them all here. First of all, think about secure as just that framework. We have different solutions and products that fit under that framework to answer the different letters or the different parts of it. Um, so things like backup, DR, antivirus, web application firewalls, those are all kind of solutions that fit under one of those vectors, right? Yeah, from either shrink, contain, undo, etc. Uh, and so there's not a kind of engagement on secure. There is, hey, there's different solutions we have when we talk about that framework, and we start to identify, hey, you might do a great job at some of those letters and you have holes in others, and that's where we can start uncovering those opportunities talking about that framework. When it comes to kind of professional engagements, and you talked about digital transformation, the model that we use is we'll have a kind of an initial sit down workshop that we scope that engagement. And so that is figuring out what the ask is, what resources are going to be involved, what outcomes do you want to have from that engagement. If it's a cloud readiness assessment, or it's if it's reviewing a security posture, stuff like that. And then we would quote a kind of a one-time charge based on the time and materials to deliver the outcomes that we discover and talk about with your clients and prospects. And then lastly, to your question about MSPs, so for our MSP community and our client community, we have a portal called Encore. And inside of Encore, you will be able to see your backup statuses, bills, DR, health, stuff like that. Your monitoring of VMs in our cloud. So all of that stuff is in our what we call Encore, which all of our MSPs would have access to that as well if you're consuming our services. Our partner portal is going to be for the deal registration, marketing, events, anything around growing that even MSP or partner business through working with us on the channel sales side. So hopefully that answers your question there. And then I think there's another question from Rich, which I'll just answer pretty quickly. It's always a fun question when you talk about ideal customer size, because a lot of people say, well, everything, right? Because and it's somewhat true, but I think OTAVA really fits into that mid-market segment. I would say from the larger SMBs to the the bottom of that Fortune 1000 is where we have a really good fit where a lot of those mid markets might have an IT staff, might have some people on staff, but don't have the level of knowledge, education, team depth, technical chops to innovate their business to the next level of where you need to be at. And that's where there's a lot of value in partnering with a company like OTAVA that can provide that expertise, that technology, know-how, gets you in best in breed and best practice technologies for protecting your data. So that's really where the fit comes in there. A lot of the Fortune thousands, they can afford and hire all that stuff themselves, right? And so they have the team and the knowledge and the depth. And on the super small business, generally not at the point where they're ready to make those transformations with the different products that we sell. There's still some things we can do to help those smaller businesses, but that mid market is generally where our sweet spot is. So hopefully that answered your question.
And then we have one more question. Do you do managed monitoring services 24/7 NOC?
I can answer that. So yes. So as part of our suite of services, we include all of that 24/7 monitoring. So if it's in our four walls and we are running, if it's cloud, if it's co-location, if it's backup, if it's DR, we can monitor it and we can report those monitoring through the Encore portal that I talked about. And so, yeah, everything's built around that. So it's part of our solution stack.
Yeah, I think one thing to add there, and on the security side, obviously we run a NOC 24/7. We're doing all the monitoring, alerting. It's very proactive. And then on the security framework, there's about rough and tough 20 products underneath those letters, and talking about everything from firewall to endpoint protection to to server protection, etc. But from a detection and response perspective relative to security, we will, whenever we detect a vulnerability or a cyber attack, either forming or being executed, we work directly with those clients so that we can advise and help them formulate a response to contain and thwart those attacks. So not only are we monitoring, but we're helping with the response and helping clients isolate the infected data so it's not contaminating the rest of the environment. So we're very active in that security posture that we're enabling for our end clients.
Awesome. And then one last question here in the chat. Oh, it's around digital transformation services. What's the engagement model around that?
Yeah, I think I answered that a little bit ago for Howard, but I'll repeat it again. So any of our, what I'd say, professional services, so that digital transformation, so cloud readiness assessments, security engagements, it's going to be a first initial scope of sitting down with OTAVA to understand the outcomes desired, resources needed, the work effort to get to the desired outcome, and then it would be uh, then pro service, kind of a one-time payment around that outcome. So scope call, then engagement work, and then verify that that outcome met the objective that we discovered.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen and ladies, for answering the questions and in the chat for submitting those. We want to go ahead and thank you so much for joining us today, learning about our CloudPulse partner program, getting some deep dive around our product features and our capabilities. And stay tuned to receive an email from us welcoming you to our OTAVA partner portal next week. Thank you to everyone for joining today.